Hi, everybody. Welcome to Saturdays with Steph and the All-Star Block of the Week, week 3. As you can see, I've got the previous blocks on the wall behind me. I've got the Ohio Stars and the Friendship Stars. And then this week, we're doing the LeMoyne Star. I'm super excited. So I wrote the pattern for us to do the easy way to make a LeMoyne Star. So no crazy angles, no special rulers needed. Just come along with me and make a bunch of half square triangles and a pinwheel, and you've got it. So if you need the pattern, go ahead and download it now. The link is pinned above in the chat, and it's also in the description box below. Happy to see everybody here. I'm going to look at the chat, which means I'm not going to be looking at you guys. I'm going to be looking at my computer over here for just a second so I can see who's here. I want to say hello to everybody. Hi, Katie Kraft and Nancy Gus and Donna Bogart. Welcome. Hi, Sherlock. So is Lori. Hi, Tamala. How you doing? Hello, Julie and MJ. Good to see you. Hi, Christine and Lori LaSalle. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. Hi, Math Geek and My Quilt Projects. Hi there. Karen Cox is here. Good to see you. Philippa's here. Hey, girl. Good to see you. Thanks for making it all the way from Australia. Let's see. Julie M is here. Evelyn Blanco's here. Hi, guys. Hi, Celie. Good to see you. Hey, Marla and Angela. Oh, I saw you earlier on a comment on one of my videos, so good to see you again. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. And Sherry, Priscilla. Thank you for the no Y seams. Yes, I made an easy LeMoyne Star. We're not doing any Y seams. Well, easy if you don't mind half square triangles. I know you guys know I'm the half square triangle queen, but I knew it was easier than doing the traditional LeMoyne Star with the Y seam. So, hey, Crystal. Hi, Shirley. How are you doing? Good to see everybody. Hi, Susan. So again, if you guys need the pattern, it's pinned in the comment in the blue box at the top of the chat and also in the description box. Hi, Linda Parsons. And I only have one thing to show you this week. This came into my shop, so I thought I'd share with you. You guys know how much I love Corey Yoder's fabrics and her new Sunwash line, all the pre-cuts. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that pretty? This is in the shop now. I've already sold out about half of them, so they're going really quick. She's going to be doing a sew along, I think starting middle to end of February. She's going to move the date based on when the yardage ships. The pre-cuts are in, the yardage is coming in a couple weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun to do that. And that'll be over on her blog, corianderquilts.com. But yeah, so let's see what else people are saying. Hi, Mona, how you doing? Steely said that's why I haven't made a LeMoyne Star. Yeah, a lot of people are scared of LeMoyne Stars because they traditionally use the Y seams, but we're not doing that today. I wasn't going to do that to you guys or to myself, because that's one where I would probably make a mistake on the camera. Although I did last week. I showed you guys how to use Jack last week. I gave you a lesson on that. So hi, Cheryl. How you doing? Hi, Steph Wild. That's a new name for me. How you doing? Good to see you. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. As you can see, this yellow one on the wall behind me, I'll grab it. This is our easy version of the LeMoyne Star. So no Y seams. I'm going to turn on my other camera and hope this works. So once I turn it on, if you guys can tell me if you can see it, that would be great. Hopefully I set it up correctly. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about this technology stuff. So hopefully it's all working. If you can see my hands and see this down here, let me know. Hi, Melissa, how you doing? We're having a watch party in Discord and watching you. You guys are so funny. Well, I'm glad you can chat about me. Okay, so I'm going to move this guy out of the way. This guy out of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab those corner pieces with the little corner squares that we're going to do pretty much every week. Just the size of this piece is going to change. So don't make them all ahead of time. They're not all going to be the same. You see it. Awesome. Cool. Hey, Colleen. Oh, it doesn't let you comment. Okay. Hi, Evelyn, Mary Jane. Good to see you guys. So I'm going to start with these corner pieces. And again, just like I've done for the other few weeks, is add them to the corners on all four. So we're going to do the easy part first. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm learning a little bit more. It's just I'm slow on the uptake. I was the last generation of typewriter kids. And so other than what I needed to learn for computers for work, I'm not very techy. So I'm doing my best. Okay. We're going to get all four of these added. This is the easy part. So on my next UFO whip video, which will either be out tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to put the pictures that I have gotten from everybody on your blocks that you've made so far. So if you've got some blocks done and you want to share them with me, like a picture, if you could email them to me, that would be great. And I will add them to that video because several of you have made some blocks with some fabrics that are very different from mine, and I love them. I love seeing all the different fabric choice. Hey, LQ3, good to see you. I have to get out my glue stick for these corners. You can do it, Celie. Just gonna trim these away, 1/4 inch. Okay, get rid of that. And where's my magic juice? There it is. You guys know I can't sew without my magic juice. Hi, Sherry, how you doing? Going to watch you on my Fire pad. I can't comment on it, but I can watch. Okay, that must be something from Amazon, Fire pad. Never heard of that. Hi, Karen, how you doing? Good to see all of you. Hopefully this week, Jack will stay in the drawer. Okay, so those corner pieces are done. So I'm going to set those guys aside. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 2 pieces for the center to make the pinwheel. So I'm going to do the 4 at a time method with the half square triangles this week, just to go a little bit quicker. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer these pieces right sides together, just like this. And then we're going to sew all the way around the outside of this block, a 1/4 inch from the edge. So let's do that first. Just make sure that they're together. If you want to pin them to keep them together, you can. I'm going to trust myself. Hopefully it's not misguided trust. You don't even have to cut your thread. Just twist your block when you get to the one corner. Okay, so as you can see, it's hard to see the thread. Yeah, you can't see it on that side either. But I've sewn a 1/4 inch all the way around the outside of the block. Now this part is up to you. You can either draw a line corner to corner and cut right on that line because we're going to be cutting diagonally, or you can just trust yourself with your rotary cutter and your ruler, which is what I'm going to do, and cut. If you've got a rotating cutting mat, this would be perfect for that. I don't have mine yet. It's on order and it's not coming till at least March. So I'm going to have to trust myself a little bit here. So I'm just going to cut this corner to corner on the diagonal. . And I'm going to live dangerously and turn it. And then I'm going to do the opposite corner to corner. Definitely very helpful if you have a rotating cutting mat. So as you can see, though, I've created 4 triangles there, and those are going to be our 4 half square triangles. So I'm going to open these up. And I was going to say press to the dark side, but they're both kind of dark. So I'll just pick a color to press towards. I'll press towards the green, I suppose. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Good to see you. Marla said, I changed my tip on the magic juice pen yesterday. OMG, it's like changing your rotary blade. Why do we wait so long? Let me tell you guys that this is my favorite rotary cutter besides the Creative Grids one. I like both of them. I like the way this one fits my hand though. It's like perfect, right? I was cutting and cutting with this and I was like, why is my fabric keep like, what's wrong with this fabric? Why won't it? It's not the fabric's fault. It was the rotary cutter blade. I realized I haven't changed it in a couple months and I'm like, yeah, now it's cutting through the fabric like a hot knife through butter. I don't know why we wait. We do these crazy things to ourselves that we shouldn't do. Karen said, practicing free motion quilting. My very first quilt is ready to be quilted, but I'm not all. You're going to do great. Hey, Gia, good to see you. Hey, Shannon, how you doing? Hi, Dawn. Good to see you. Saw you earlier comment on one of my videos too. Thank you so much for watching that. Okay. Now that I juiced these guys up, I'm going to press them and then we're going to trim them down. Okay, there are those. Let's see. Okay, now we're going to trim these down, and these are going to get trimmed to 3 inches. There's probably not going to be a whole lot since we did the 4 at a time method. There should just be, you should just have a tiny bit on each side to cut off. So oh, so glad I changed my rotary cutter blade. That's so much easier. This is going to become the center pinwheel of this block. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Denise said, not sewing today, doing laundry and working on organizing my sewing room. That's important too. If you finish organizing yours, do you want to come over and do mine? Mine is quite a mess. Gia said, just finished my frosted flake block from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Yes, it is. That quilt came out so gorgeous, but I might be a little biased since I like blue so much. I really, really enjoyed making that one. Hey, Ange, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. I know it's pretty late for you. Okay, those are all trimmed. Close my rotary cutter so I don't cut myself. All right, now I'm going to put them together in the pinwheel. So it's going to go like this and like this. That's going to make our center. So I'm going to sew these two together and then these two together and then put them together to make the pinwheel. And if I trim these correctly, they should come out to the right size without having to trim down this block, but we'll see. You said the metallic accents in the fabric are striking. Yes, they were. That quilt is gorgeous. I wish I had more of that fabric. That's the only problem, Gia. When I got all done, I wanted more of the fabric. That fabric is very hard to find. I'm going to make sure I press these opposite directions so they'll nest up when we sew these rows together. Nope. Got one of them, but there we go. Okay. So just making sure it still looks like a pinwheel. I don't want to have to get Jack out this week. Okay, here's my pinwheel. And this is really thick right here, the seam. So I'm going to press this open. Okay, there's my pinwheel. Now let me get my ruler here and make sure that this came out to the right size. So this should measure 5.5 inches. Perfect. Okay, good. All right, so that's done. I'm going to put that aside with our corner pieces. And now I'm going to make our star legs. So the first thing you want to do is separate out your two colors or your colors into two piles. Now, whichever color you put in your pinwheel that's on the top left right here, that's going to be the color that needs to be always on the left and this one on the right. So make sure you keep your piles separate because that'll make a difference when you put this LeMoyne star together. So the first thing you're going to want to do is draw a line on the back of your background squares, corner to corner. And you should have 8 of these squares. And then 4 of them are going to go with these fabrics and 4 with the other. And the 4 that are, matching with the top of this pinwheel, you're going to sew from the top left to the bottom right, or should say the middle right. And the other 4 are going to go the opposite direction. You're going to sew them from the top right to the middle left. So make sure that you keep those directions in mind, else your LeMoyne star is not going to come out like a LeMoyne star. And it's okay if it doesn't, if you have all your points going the same direction, you're just going to have a different kind of star, that's all. So I'm going to bring all of these over to my machine and chain piece all of them. Hey, Laura. I will check your email as soon as I get done here. Katie Crafts, you said you prefer a rectangular quilt to a square one. A lot of people do. Now moving to the other colors, I'm making sure that they're going the opposite direction. And with these blocks, I would recommend not using directional fabric if you're OCD like me, because you won't be able to get them directionally going the right way without a lot of waste, if that makes sense. cutting these apart. And I'm lying them back in piles to make sure that I sewed them all the correct direction. Take the pinwheel out of the way. Okay, now I'm just going to trim them all a 1/4 inch away from the line that I sewed towards the outside, away from the fabric, the pretty fabric. And then we'll press all these guys. Oh, okay, Laura, thanks about Helen. I will definitely take a look at that then. Let's see. Joy said, does anyone use a serger? If so, what kind do you have or recommend? I do not use a serger, but if there's any of you in the chat that do, if you could help Joy out, that would be great. I don't know anything about sergers, so I cannot help you. That's a good question, GS. She said, Stephanie, what is your favorite project you're working on now? I have more projects than I should be. Probably it should be illegal to have this many projects going as I have, but I really liked that Fort Worth Fabric Studio Frozen Memories, but that's done now. So probably, and I finished my penguin quilt. So probably, well, I love this project because I love stars. But if I had to pick another one that I'm working on now, it's probably my sun washed quilt that I'm working on from Corey Yoder. I'm using her, I can never remember the name of the pattern. I think it's called Joyful pattern. And I'm using a fat quarter bundle. It's just so pretty. The fabric's so pretty and springy. And it's really nice to look at on this gray time of year. It's so gray and ick here in Ohio. So yeah, that's probably my favorite one. Hi, Shauna. Good to see you. Sherlock So says, I have a brother's serger. Works great for me on my projects, on my little projects once in a while. Katie Crafts said she has a 30-year-old baby lock that she uses for clothing. Donna has just bought one. I think it's a brother. Awesome. Pamela has a brother's serger. Sounds like brother must be a popular one. Melissa says she has a baby lock Imagine serger and she loves it. Awesome. Joy said, thanks everyone. I was looking at a brother. It sounds like a bunch of people here have a brother and they like it. So that might be a good way to go. I know you can use it for other things besides garment sewing, but I know that's what a lot of you use it for, and I don't do any of that. So yeah, I don't have one. And that's probably one machine that I have no interest in getting. So I'm glad that all of you can help out. Joy. New sergers have auto threaders. That would be wonderful. Ooh, that's a nice feature. Shannon said, I have a brother 1634D and it is a great starter machine with lots of troubleshooting videos on YouTube. Awesome. Marla said, I have a serger that's 30 years old by Janome. I love it and use it a lot. Awesome. Gia said, Stephanie, how are you liking the fig tree sew sampler blocks? I haven't started mine yet. I haven't either. They're nice though. I like them. I think they're pretty simple. I think they're going to go together quick. It's just I've had so many other projects going on that's kind of like one of those back burner type things. If I get to it someday, it'll be good. If not, that's all right too. I do like them though. I think they're a nice block. I'm doing the of course Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, and then the new one starts next month. I know a lot of you know that because a lot of you are going to be sewing it here with me and a group of ladies on the channel. I'm also doing the pastry shop block of the month, the patriotic days. Plus I'm doing the Fat Quarter Shop Socialites 2 block of the week. And I'm doing the Fat Quarter Shop Designer Mystery block of the month. And yes, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm doing a block of the month from a little shop in Tennessee called the Cherry Pit. And I went to a retreat last year, hosted by that shop. Not one of my own retreats, just a retreat that I attended. And I really, really love the shop and the owner. And so I signed up for her block of the month because I needed something else to do. You know, I've got a lot of things going on, probably way more than I should. But busy's good. It keeps my mind occupied. And I love to do this. I love to sew, really. I know people say that all the time, but really quilting is my passion. So let's see. Marla said, Stephanie, you have been very, very busy ever since Vlogmas. Yes. And I'm getting ready for the Millersburg, Ohio retreat, which is coming up. That's my next retreat. So I'm really excited about that one because it's back here in my home state. And I don't have to travel super far for it. So that's nice. What cotton color waves did everyone pick out? Oh, that's a really good question. I don't remember the names of mine, Gia, but I got 2 of them. I got the black and white, which I think was tulip. And then I got one that's an art gallery fabric. I got one of each size, a small and a large. I got the art gallery fabric one. I think it was peony. I'm not positive, but it's like pinky colors with flowers. Sherlock So says, do you make time for yourself? Yep. Sewing is the time for myself. I love it. Yes, and the Fort Worth Fabric Studio, Nothing Sweeter. That so long's going on now too. So I'm doing that as well. Julie Smith said, I love the Cherry Pit, right? Yeah. Shannon's doing the peony. Awesome. The Cherry Pit is a great little quilt shop in, I always say it wrong. It's near Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I think it's Sevierville, something like that. Anyway, I'll never get it right. Okay, so this is how we're going to join these pieces together now. Make sure the whites are touching. And we're going to do this for all the way around this quilt. Or around this block, I should say, not quilt. So they're going to look something like that. So we need to join all these pieces together. Shauna said, do you have fig tree fabric for the sew sampler? If not, how much fabric do you need? I don't know. I don't know how much fabric you need because honestly, I haven't looked at them that closely. I just figured when I get to around to making them that I would probably figure that out. I don't necessarily, when I get blocks like that, I don't necessarily use like the designer who made the block fabric. I'll kind of use like, if it needs a fat quarter bundle, I'll just kind of find a fat quarter bundle that I have and use that. So Saberville, is that how you say it? Saberville? Okay. One of these days I'll figure it out. No, I cannot give you a hint, Miss Gia, at the projects at Millersburg. That would be cheating. You know it's a surprise. I can tell you that I have the pattern written. The main quilt pattern anyway. Are you going to Atlanta for QuiltCon? That is a good question. No, I am not. There was just too many things going on this year for me to go, and it's quite expensive in Atlanta. The hotels were almost $300 a night, so no. And I didn't have anybody to share a room with, so to kind of help with the expense, it was too expensive for me because I'd have to fly there and pay for a hotel and the entry fees and food and all that stuff. And yeah, so no, I'm not going. It would have cost several $1,000s just to go for a couple days, so wasn't worth it. Now I might go to QuiltCon. I've actually already been thinking about going to QuiltCon 2024. That'll be in February because that's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, and that's drivable for me. And probably my whole family would come because my son that can't handle like plane rides, he can handle car rides. Our little guy who's autistic. So I think we'll be able to make it like sort of a family trip and probably pop into the quilt show, QuiltCon for a day, maybe take Sarah with me, and then spend the rest of the time with, my husband and kiddos. Yeah. So I am planning on going to 2024 if we can get it all worked out. Sevierville. Okay. Sevierville. All right. I'll get that figured out eventually. All right. So I am thinking, let's see how we're going to press these. I'm thinking we can probably press these open. Just they're a little bit, you guys can't probably tell on my table, but they're a little bit bulky. I'm going to press these guys open. I think that's going to make these lay a lot nicer in the block. Does QuiltCon ever go to the West Coast? Yes. Last year, actually, it was in Phoenix, Gia. I lived in Phoenix for a little bit. I still have some family that lives out there. And I didn't go to QuiltCon because I have no desire to ever go back to Phoenix, to be honest with you. So I didn't end up going to that one. Plus, again, expense, you have to fly and all that stuff. So yeah, I will probably go to the North Carolina one. But yes, it does come out west. Usually they alternate. They usually go east, west, east, west. So I was really surprised that they had it in Atlanta this year and going to North Carolina next year. So that's different for them. Like typically, since they went to Phoenix last year and this year's Atlanta, they would go back somewhere like Salt Lake or I don't think they've ever had it in Vegas, but don't quote me. I could be totally wrong. I know they've had it in like Long Beach, California. So I was really surprised that 2 years in a row that it was on the East Coast. Okay. Okay, we're doing good. I haven't had to use Jack yet, guys. And maybe I just cursed myself, but so far so good with this block. Sevierville. I keep looking at that. Sevierville. I got to remember that. So if you guys are ever in the Gatlinburg area, check out the Cherry Pit because it's a really nice little shop and the owner's a nice lady. All right, so this is how this block is going to lay out. Let me straighten it out a little bit more. So this is the easy way of making a LeMoyne star, making it look like it was harder. No Y seam. And then we're going to add these guys to the corners. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to sew the rows together. And there's the first one. Grab the second row. Hey, Francis, how you doing? Never been to a quilt convention. What is special about them? Well, what I think is special about them is you get to see quilts from all over the world. I had never been to quilt market until this past year was the first year I got to go. Because the first year I was supposed to go, we got this virus. Have you guys heard about it that went around the world? So they canceled it. And that was my first year that I was supposed to go. So, and they had canceled it for at least 2 years after that. So this past year was the first year I got to go, and it did not disappoint. It was worth taking or leaving my family for a few days to go because I got to see some, oops, hopefully this is not a jack moment. Let's see. My piece got a little crooked here when I was sewing it together. Yep, I'm gonna take that out. I got to see some really, really cool quilts from all over the world. I'll tell you guys, the neatest quilts were from Japanese artists. They had, I mean, it's called International Quilt Market for a reason. They literally had quilts from all over the world, like every country you can imagine. There were some from African countries, from Middle Eastern countries, from Asian countries, European countries, everywhere. And it was just amazing. But I will tell you that the Japanese artists, nobody can hold a, you know, I wouldn't even think about competing against them. They're amazing. Their use of color, just jaw dropping. Their quilts are just amazing. So to me, that's what makes it worth going to a quilt show like that. They were beautiful, Shannon. You would have loved them. I mean, some of the quilts from Japan, it actually looked like you were standing in a Japanese garden, like not looking at a quilt, like you were looking at a garden. It was just gorgeous. It was unbelievable. They didn't even look like quilts. They looked like paintings. That's how gorgeous they were. They do a lot of thread painting more than like piecing than traditional piecing. Uh, like a lot of them were like whole cloth quilts that they just took the thread and did thread painting to create like the gardens. But geez, they were just so beautiful. It made me feel like a baby quilter. I don't like that. Okay, you guys are gonna see me pick again. This seam just doesn't, it doesn't look right to me, and it's gonna bug me. You'd like to try a Japanese chashiko? Yeah, I've never tried that, but it looks beautiful. Felipe said, I love Japanese fabric. I have just finished a quilt from Japan, Japanese shibori fabric, and another with Japanese linens. Oh, I bet that's amazing. right. I am not a pinner, but I'm going to pin this because I don't like that that seam was not matching up. Okay, there we go. That should come out better. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, I'm glad I ripped that out. That would have bugged me. Some stuff I can leave in, but that was pretty off. All right. So now I'm going to press these and then we can put this whole block together and we'll be done. Very sad. I only live an hour and a half from Raleigh. Maybe I will go. That would be awesome. I think the dates are February for anybody interested in QuiltCon. I don't know what they are this year, but I think the dates for next year are like the 23rd through the 25th or the 24th through the 26th. I'm not sure, something like that. I also do handwork, said Philippa. It's so relaxing. Very popular here. I'd love to see a picture of that, Philippa, because I don't know what that is. I don't think I've heard of that. Julie said, Walwick sells Shashiko thread at very good prices and in multiple colors. So Easy brand has Shashiko templates for beautiful designs. Ooh, awesome. I'll have to look into that. Oh, Shashiko handiwork. Okay. Have I ever done a pattern writing tutorial? Nope. I have not. And I probably won't, just because the process is different for each person depending on how your mind works. I can tell you really quickly how I do my pattern, but for you, it might make sense to do it a different way because I'm not techie. I know a lot of people draw up everything on the computer, make their patterns in Illustrator, things like that. I don't do that. I hand draw all my patterns first with good old-fashioned graph paper and colored pencils. And then I take that into, probably a lot of you have heard of this, but the program EQ8, which is Electric Quilter, and then draw the patterns into there. And then I take that image and I put it into a Word document and write out the whole pattern, words, and then put the pictures in, and then I turn it into a PDF. So probably doing it the hard way, I don't know. There's probably easier ways, but for me, that's the easiest way. Let's see. LQ3 said, I think writing a pattern would be hard, finding inspiration and uniqueness hard. It can be. Shauna said, I finally ordered an Acorn pressing pen. Yay, I hope you like it. Oh, thanks, Philippa. That'd be great. Hey, Nadine, good to see you. And a little bit too, if you're writing patterns, you have to sort of be inspired by something, I feel. So you guys know I did that mosaic star pattern and I was inspired by the ombre fabric. And if you don't already know, and you're a fan of that ombre fabric from Moda, they're coming out with a new one this summer called think it's called Ombre Flurries. It's the ombre fabric with snowflakes on it. And the snowflakes are going to be either metallic silver or metallic gold. So it's going to be beautiful. And when I saw the fabric, I immediately sat down and drew out 2 patterns. And the first one is okay. I don't love it. But the second one that I came up with, I love. And so when that fabric comes out, you guys will see that pattern. But I was inspired by the fabric. So typically to sit down and write a pattern, you have to have some sort of inspiration. So I just put that on upside. No, I didn't. It's fine. I thought I put it on upside down. It's fine. Need to go. My doggie, Miss Miley, had a pancreatic attack and gets out of vet hospital today. Oh, Gia, I am so sorry to hear that. I'm glad that she's good enough to come home, though. Give her hugs. Okay, so here's that block all done. Yay. Hi, Del Marie. Good to see you. All right, now I can figure this out. Here we go. All right, now I can look at one camera. It's really hard trying to figure out where to look when you have 2 cameras going. I'm going to hang this guy on the wall. Our little blocks are growing here really fast. I'm really excited about that. So a few of you asked me what fabrics I was using, and I think I had mentioned it last week, but I'm using 2 different fabric lines that I had some fat quarters for. One was Love Lily and one is Zinnia. They're both by April Rosenthal, so they work together. They're both Moda fabrics, but just to give you sort of, these are all the colors I have. So I have lots of colors to pick from. Isn't this one pretty? I love this one right here. That was in last week's block, but yeah. So those are the fabrics that I'm using. Hi Peggy, how you doing? Popping in to see what you're up to. We just finished the LeMoyne stars, the easy version of the LeMoyne stars, no Y seams. Yeah, that's it. So thank you all for coming. Don't forget to send me your blocks if you've finished some, or if you haven't, but you've pulled fabric, send me a picture of what fabric you picked. And I will put them in my next UFO whip update video. Hopefully I will get that done tomorrow. If not, it'll be Monday. But I would love to show your blocks and your fabrics. Now, I'm not going to put in people's names because several of you have said I don't want my name mentioned, which is fine. So I'll just put them in the video and you guys can see yours. Thank you, Peggy. I love that flower print too. Yeah, me too. Let's see. So if you want to send those to me, I will put those in my video so you guys can see them. I wish I could show them here, but I don't know how that technology works to share things. I know you can share your screen, but I've tried doing that before and I messed up my whole video. So we're not going to do that. I've gotten to the point where I can at least show you the sewing and you could see me at the same time. So that's step 1. So I'll put those in that video. So if you guys want to look out for that. Monday is the next block in the Nothing Sweeter Fort Worth Fabric Studio Sew Along. So check that out right here on my channel. That goes up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Wednesday, I'm going to get back with Stephen Bland, Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter. And we're going to continue on that sew along. That's Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I know a lot of you work during those times, but the video is always there for replay. You can come back and watch it. That was just the best time that worked for him and for me. He's a morning person. My kids are not morning people. So it's quiet during that time. So I can actually make a video without, you know, kids screaming and running around. So, but it's always on both of our channels as a replay. And then, like I said, I'll have a UFO video at some point update during this week, and I'll show you guys the people's blocks so far, the fabric choices of the ones who have sent them to me, and show you what else I'm working on, because I got so many things I'm working on. I think that's about it. So thank you all so much for being here. It was so good to see you. It's only been a week, but for some reason, this was a really long week. So I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you guys. And I know it hasn't. So it's silly that I'm even thinking that, but it feels like it. But I appreciate you being here. I'm really loving doing this block of the week with you guys. It's been so much fun. So the next couple weeks, we're going to do blocks. And then there's going to be 1 week of a break the second week in February when we sew the next puzzle mystery quilt, Village Green. Sorry if I said that wrong. I don't remember. I think that's the name of it. So those of you who are part of the group and wanted to sew along, that link for the Zoom will be going up. I'm going to send it to Shannon and she's going to get it out to all of you soon. And if you come on the Zoom, don't forget you will be live on YouTube. You have to be willing to be on camera. You can talk if you want to. You don't have to talk, but I need your face to be on camera because else we're going to have a bunch of black boxes and we don't want that. So if you want to sew live with us, you can. If you don't want to be on camera, you can just sew from your home. Just watch the YouTube and sew along with all of us. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the week after that, we'll resume the block of the week. So if you're not doing the puzzle mystery quilt and you need to catch up on some of these stars, that might be a good week to do it. Yeah, so we're gonna just keep going until we finish this. I'm so excited. I'm loving how it's turning out so far. And like I said, I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you again all really, really soon.